We love deploying our Dragino LoRaWAN gateways with remote access through Remoted. We even love it better now that we have this unlimited 64 kilobit per second IoT data network SIM. In this video, we're going to unbox and activate our ImbeddedWorks SIM, configure the Dragino LoRaWAN gateway to use this SIM for internet access, and finally, configure the Dragino LoRaWAN gateway to use Remoted for remote access over cellular. Okay, we got this $49 a year for unlimited data from ImbeddedWorks IoT, Embedded in IoT. And we got the card here. We're going to put it in our Dragino, fire it up. There's activation instructions. We're going to break this out, the SIM out, and we're going to leave it in the mid-size. And we're going to take our Dragino and we're going to insert it in here. So the big problem that I had the first time is this little SIM. It says the direction you're supposed to put the SIM in. It's completely different than I've ever seen before. Usually you would put the SIM in with the edge first, but in this case, in the Dragino, you put the flat side in. It'll go in and click that in there. Okay, we're clicking in there. All right, so now the SIM's installed. All we have to do now is plug this in and configure it and see if we can get a connection. Okay, in this picture, you can see that the foil side is to the left and the notch is to the bottom of the picture. I plugged in my Ethernet. Default, I think the username and password is admin and Dragino. All right, so we're in. So the first thing we'll notice, there's no cellular setup. First thing we want to do is add that cellular. For now, we'll just set it up as a backup. I think it's M2M Global. That's the APN for this particular SIM. You got to have enable cellular. And we'll put enable cellular, use cellular as backup for right now. And we'll put the APN M2M Global. Save and apply. Should have cellular pop up right here. And there we go. I'm going to refresh it one more time. Okay, cellular is up. So we can see that the SIM's ready. We got T-Mobile and we got a signal quality. And we got an IP address from the provider. It's all set up and back. Okay, so it looks like this SIM's going to work. So the next thing we want to do is we want to set up remote access. So I'm going to still do this with the WAN plugged in because the WAN's much faster than the cellular. I'm going to go to Remote It and I'm going to install Remote It. See what happens. I think it in the background, it downloads the package and installs Remote It on this Dragino device. Okay, it says down here, installation is complete. Now I want to register this to my account. So I can do this one of two ways. I can either build a product for this Dragino, or I can just put my license key in. So on the website, I can go here and I can go to my account and I can get my license key. I can also do the same thing on my desktop. I can get the license key. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that. I'm going to put this into and say register. And this should register this Dragino to my account. Okay, so now it says device is registered. I think we're done here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the desktop and I'm going to go into devices here and see if I can find the Dragino. I probably have to refresh. Here it is. I think this is my Dragino. So if you look here, this is the Dragino we just registered. I think if we went to the network status, if we look at the MAC address, B0, I don't know if there's a correlation there. B0, yeah. So if you look at this 204EB0, that's this Dragino. Right now, it's on Remote It, but it has no services. This remote configurable icon lets me click on that. And now I can add a service. In this case, I want to do two things. First thing I want to do is add a web service to port 80 so I can manage this. Add this and say save. And this will go and register the web interface of the Dragino to my Remote It account. And then the other thing I want to do is I want to do a SSH to this Dragino too, so I can SSH into it. So I'll save that. All right, so the HTTP is registered and the SSH must be registering. So if I wanted to, I could add other devices here. I could even have a jump from this Dragino box to something else in the network. Keep that in mind. We can just add more stuff. register it, and then this Dragino could be a gateway to other stuff on the network. But we're not going to do that for right now. So now what I want to do is, since the Dragino is registered, I could actually launch this, add this to the network and launch, and it'll do a connection at this endpoint. See if we get a web interface on that. Okay, so we did there. So we'll just do the admin Dragino, and boom. So we're connected to the Dragino through remote it address. But that's not such a big deal since we're on the same LAN as a cell phone. So let's do this. Let's go over here and do the network, the cellular network. And let's put this as the WAN port. So now this should drop off of the Ethernet network and only be connected to by the cellular connection. I think this connection will probably not be valid anymore until this thing reboots and comes back online. And this will try to automatically reconnect to this endpoint. Let's go unplug this LoRaWAN gateway from the WAN here also. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to unplug the WAN port from this Dragino. So it's only going to connect via the cellular. Okay, so now that I've unplugged the WAN port, this should not work anymore. Shouldn't be able to connect at this address at all. And I think that's true. Yeah, it's got the cached page, but it'll never load this because it's not connected to my network anymore. What we can try to do is we can try to reconnect to this address and see if that will connect to the Dragino via remote it. So this one on the local network failed. What it says here is we can refresh this. Oh, look, it did connect in the background. So also the cellular's up. We're connected to the Dragino through the remote it. You can see that I got this different IP address from Baltimore, Maryland, and it must be the IoT data sim comes from that address. So now I'm connected to this Dragino through remote it. I can also SSH into it. Let's try that. Add to network, and let's launch that. And actually, let's not launch that. Move from network, because I want to do is I want to configure this, the launch type, to be a URL. So it'll do SSH, username to be root. And so now I should just be able to add the network, launch it, and it should launch my SSH. Might take a second to connect. This is pretty slow because it's on this 64 kilobit per second unlimited cellular IoT data sim. And there we go, accept and save. Skip because we don't have a private key. And boom, now we're SSH into Dragino through remote it. Yeah, good to go. So the cool thing about this is now I have LoRaWAN Dragino box that's connected to cellular that I can deploy anywhere in the United States. I think on this sim, it's possible it works outside the United States. I do not know, but I think it's only United States. I can put it on a farm. I could put it at a factory. I can hook all my sensors up to LoRaWAN. And if I need to diagnose something or access my Raspberry Pi sensor platform that's behind this Dragino, I can SSH into it. I can configure the Dragino through the web interface. I can add more jump targets to go directly to SSH to the Pi, or I can just SSH in here and then SSH to anything I want to on there. So this is super powerful. Once I can ship this in the mail, they can plug it on the other side, and I have full control over this network. Hope you like that. I think it's pretty cool. It's powerful. I'll put some sensors on this LoRaWAN and hook it up to TTN. Go drop this up my buddy's winery, and we'll do some moisture sensing, other cool stuff. I'm excited. This is great. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in this kind of video, or you have any questions about this video, please leave a comment below. And don't forget, smash the like button and subscribe if you want to see more content like this.